What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with the Tesla SPY and the overall markets and break down some very key pieces of news involving Tesla sales that just came out, not to mention our economic calendar. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. The offer ends at the end of March. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening with this market. So, as far as Tesla's going, I just want to mention that we have this double top like structure. I want to see Tesla hold 230 for it to kind of maintain in this range. If we had lost that, it obviously wouldn't have been a good sign. And so far, that's what's going on. We're not holding this 230 area very well, and Tesla's still showing some weakness. So, we're seeing lots of bad news coming out, at least for the last couple of days, which is part of why it's dipping. The first thing worth mentioning is the fact that I'm seeing reports that are saying that despite the fact that they were initially saying, 200,000 pre-orders could be coming for the new Model Y refresh, other reports are saying that those numbers are exaggerated and the current delivery timelines pointed to soft demand for the new Model Y. So I just want to say that, I'm tired of, people trying to talk about this report, and everyone's saying something different. The best thing to do is let's just wait and see what happens with Tesla's, their next earnings, what happens with their next deliveries. We'll see how they end up looking for Q1. And then we'll see if there's any more indications of them getting higher amounts of demand from the Model Y refresh, because I'm seeing some reports saying that actually demand has been quite soft for it, and it's not as strong as many people initially expected. That could be because of geopolitics and things like that. Um, Tesla also announced that they're bringing back 0% interest rates for the base version of the new Model Y. So could that be because of softening demand? We just don't truly know everything yet. I'm just going to wait and see. I'm going to say this though. Let's just wait for deliveries. It's less than 2.5 weeks from now. That's going to be the next big catalyst for them. It's going to be pretty major, if anything. On top of this, it's worth mentioning that the used car prices for Teslas are actually down quite a bit. That's going down, at least for the time being. This could help demand go up, at least for the time being as well. And then we also have a very important investor in Tesla known as Christopher Tsai, who has a $137 million portfolio in Tesla stock. And he said that he hopes that Elon Musk's work with Doge is short lived so that Elon Musk could focus on his businesses. That's what he mentioned. He thinks that with what's going on right now is not really beneficial for Tesla. And he wants to see Elon Musk focus a lot more on Tesla's endeavors, on AI and things just like that. So there's a lot of Tesla investors that are saying this. They're not really happy with what's going on right now. So we'll see how things end up developing in the future, at least for us. But just keep in mind, this is something, that's very important. It's worth noting. There's been a lot of concerns about Tesla sales declining. A lot of concerns about, the Cybertruck seeing their deliveries paused and things like that. And Tesla really needs a CEO. Now, can Elon Musk manage being CEO and then, running Doge, doing all these things? I'm sure he's capable of doing it, but I think that's, having that extra time, that could be used for Tesla would be a lot more beneficial, because there's only so many hours in a day and there's only so much that Elon Musk could truly do. But once again, guys, that's just an opinion, at least from Christopher. We'll just have to see how well Tesla's earnings and such go, not to mention how well Tesla's unsupervised launch of FSD goes in June. And I just hope for the best nonetheless. So hopefully things still go well for Tesla. Hopefully they eventually make a strong comeback. Despite Elon Musk's involvement in politics, I still think the future is going to be bright. But once again, there's a lot of, debates about whether or not he should be more involved. So when it comes to other pieces of news, keep in mind that 15 minutes before the market opens, we have industrial and manufacturing production numbers coming out. This may cause some volatility, so get ready for all of this. And it's going to be very important. Besides that, I'm not seeing anything else that's too crazy. We do have FOMC tomorrow, so it's going to be very big. And then I just want to say that for earnings, nothing too significant is coming out. We do have some big retail ones coming out on Thursday, so get ready for that. For news about the markets, I'm just not really seeing much. The market did try to bounce yesterday. I'm not seeing anything else. I think we just had some news that Forever 21 has filed for bankruptcy. Not the best of news for them. And that's pretty much it. I'm not seeing anything else too crazy on the news. So, anyways, let's focus on the charts from this point on. That's enough about the news. So, as far as Tesla goes, we have a double top leg structure right over here. I want to see this thing try to reclaim at least 233 to bounce to about 241. If we can't reclaim that, we're going to likely continue to dip. If we can't hold above 230, we're going to likely be dipping back down towards this 224 area. And if that fails us, we could be retesting these lows towards 215 to eventually continue to decline to 200. So right now, what Tesla was supposed to do was we had this like wedge. So you want to see it do this, right? Like this would be like the first sign before it starts to break out down like that. But instead, we're losing structure right over here. We're losing this key support. So this typically favors a move like this, some kind of rebound back up to here, and possibly continuation lower, back down to those lows is the most likely possibilities. So Tesla had a price downgrade yesterday from Mizuho. They paused the Cybertruck deliveries. We're seeing some news that their Model Y refresh is not getting as many sales as previously being reported, and that there's softening demand. Right? I'm seeing a lot of headlines about that. Obviously, we have to wait for deliveries data, but there's just so much bad news. There's bad news after bad news after bad news for Tesla, which is why it's underperforming. And we could be forming a double top here, and this may continue to decline. We do typically bottom out around April to May, so I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to decline a bit, and we could be trying to retest those lows. So just be very, very careful. As far as SPY goes, the daily looks a bit more bullish as we have 569. If that breaks, we could be looking for an attempt to push up even higher. But for now, I just want to mention that 569 to 570 is going to be a very tough resistance. And I think we just touched it. So, we came very close to this during the pre-markets, and we're kind of struggling to break through that so far. So as of right now, we might retest 563. If that does not hold, we could dip towards like 560. There might be a small pullback here. But as long as we don't end up losing 555, it's still very possible for SPY to see a bit of a dip. We're going to likely see a small dip here like this, whether it's 560 to 555, and then we could eventually try to reclaim this and continue to push. That's still very, very possible. So don't be too worried, even if we do get some kind of pullback, right? So to be bullish, you want to see SPY hold above 570 now. That's going to be our 50 EMA. If that breaks, we're looking for 575. If we lose 563, we're looking for a dip back down to the low 560s. I think we might dip first a little bit more to 563, if not 560, and we'll see if we bounce off that. It's going to be a big test, but I do anticipate some downside for now. On the QQQ, we bounced. Now we're starting to dip a little bit. We have to see if we could hold 479. If not, we could be dipping to about 477 for a temporary decline. So watch 477 and then 474 to see if those hold. To be bullish, you want to hold it above at least not just 480, but break past like 485. That's going to be where our 50 EMA is in a couple of days. So I think that's going to be the next resistance. So for now, look for a little bit more downside here, and we'll see if we bounce near, the 477 and 474 area. The Russell 2000 has a big gap above. We might be dipping towards 202 if that fails. Since we have an imbalance to fill near. We have 202.9 as our support. If that fails, we're looking for 202. Look for a small decline towards the low 200s, and we'll see if we bounce from there. But I do see a small dip coming. ES could be retesting 5680. It's just a small decline, guys. It's actually not doing too bad. 5680 could be tested. If that fails, we're looking for even lower levels such as like 5625. So watch for a small decline to 5680, 5650 or so, and then we'll see if we bounce. Watch that very, very closely. On NQ, we have support around this 19,874 area. We have resistance around 20,000. We're kind of stuck in the middle. We could be dipping to 19,874, if not back down to about 19,800. And we'll see if we bounce, but I do anticipate a little bit more downside, just to be blunt. For Bitcoin, we're making, we're kind of rejecting here. We could be dipping back down towards 82,000 flat, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get from there. I do anticipate 82,000, if not 80,000, and we'll see how the move ends up looking. For Nvda, Nvda is once again, at this 117 to 118 area. There's also the potential inverse head and shoulders here. They have their important conference, so we'll see if it's like a buy the rumors, sell the news event or not. Watch 117. If that fails, we're looking for like 115. In this range, we might see it try to hold up. There's a gap to fill down here, so there's going to be a risk of it dipping just a little bit before it tries to bounce. Apple's looking so. We haven't really lost our key support yet. I was thinking it would go a little higher towards like 215. Might dip towards like 211 before it tries to bounce, but overall, this could just be a temporary move down before we see some buyers defend. Netflix could retest 934 before it tries to bounce as well. Coinbase, kind of weak looking right here because, we have these lows around this 180 area. So watch 177, 180s are support zones. We could be dipping closer to 180 before it tries to bounce. So just keep that in mind. For Amazon, we're looking kind of weak as well. As you guys can see, it's kind of declining here off a double top. We could be dipping back down towards this 191 area. I would like to see us bounce, try to get back above 196. And this will likely continue to decline to 191, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get. For Meta, we're rejecting off this 20 EMA. If this continues to fall, we could be dipping back down to about 590. So be careful. Might see a slight decline before it tries to bounce. We need to get back above 607 to bounce. Might dip to 590 first before it tries to do that. Microsoft could be retesting 385. If that fails us, we're looking for essentially 382. I want to see it break past 389 to turn bullish, but for now, it looks like it's going to dip to about 385, if not 382. Google needs to reclaim 167. If that breaks, we're looking for a bigger move up. If not, this could be dipping back down to about 165. So there might be a small dip to 165, and we'll see how it goes from here. Anyways, as far as the market goes, the VIX is trying to rebound just temporarily. There's a gap up here to fill. So do we get a temporary bounce on the VIX, at least approaching FOMC? But then FOMC is going to either cause us to launch higher or get a big rug pull. So we will see, guys, just to be safe. The market could still be in a bullish phase, even if we're getting a temporary pullback. But Tesla, on the other hand, is kind of weak compared to the markets. So this is resembling like a double top, and it's not looking too good in my opinion. This is still resembling weakness, so please keep that in mind, guys. Unless Tesla could get back above 230 and 234, it's still looking relatively weak. Anyways, that's it for this one. Have a good one, guys. I'll be back in a couple of hours for another update. Until then, take care and peace out.